think about Mangachu overall, he's someone where not only does he understand a whole lot of different heroes in terms of just pure versatility, but also in dealing with that, you know what compositions you need to play to make that work, and also how to counter it, where never forget his hook onto the Pharah.
That was a nasty hook. That was actually one of the best hooks I've seen in a while. And, you know, we haven't seen it in a long time, but Mangachu actually used to be a really good, well-known Roadhog player.
Yeah, and
it's been a long time since we've seen it, but he was.
Well, he's not thinking about hooks right now. He's thinking about hammers. He has his list.
There it is.
And he's going to be checking it twice.
I'm quite excited to see the Torbjorn come back out. This is the bunker comp with an Ashe for Mayhem Academy.
See just how this works out here, where, I mean, look, you stop and think about it. It's not quite Florida, but it's awfully close. Atlanta Rain also making the Torb work in recent times, so it's not crazy.
You know, I just thought about it. I know, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is a very tropical matchup. We have Bermuda and Mayhem Academy, Florida Mayhem Academy.
It's a lot warmer than it is right now outside. I'll tell you that.
It's kind of cold outside.
It kind of is. And yet we have the window open.
See Mangachu on that Torb, on the low ground, getting pressured. Here comes the dive from Bermuda. Back vision picking up Umte very quick. Ultimate Web down. I think that'll be that.
And it will be. I mean, the problem with Bermuda is that you're running this dive setup. If you go straight in, the fight's going to be over one way or another real quick. Either you immediately get a pick off or the people you're diving in with just fall. And unfortunately for Bermuda, that was the latter. And Mayhem Academy so far playing this anchor setup quite well.
They are. I mean, and you just need to be looking. It's why I thought when I saw bunker setup to Sombra was a very interesting choice, while Ashe was a little bit more natural, because you do a lot more long-range damage, and Ashe can reposition herself due to her shift. She can run away from the dive. She can actually survive the initial dive. Mangachu, on the other hand, can't, but he is a Torb, so he can get it from armor. Here comes the dive again.
Again, Umte just getting annihilated. Moves in, and you just look at his health bar. It's deleted. It's gone. Ultimate, though, in the fray, was able to make his sacrifice worthwhile. They deal with the Ashe, but they need to get at least one more. Oh, the list!
Oh, no, he doesn't get added to the list, actually.
Not quite. He backed off. He didn't have faith in himself.
Tragic when that happens. But Mayhem Academy doing a great job playing this bunker, but Bermuda are showing really not a very good understanding of how they want to play dive. If you're playing the Sombra, why are you diving straight into the team? Pressure the point first.
Yeah,
make Manitin rotate. Make someone from Mayhem rotate. Spam a bit. And then, once you have the nano, once you have the better positioning, then dive.
Yeah, I mean, EMP is your win condition. You're just going, you know, we don't need that. We're just going to roll on into you. But speaking of conditions here, Mangachu about to be ready to do his own Warlock impersonation here. Green Lava about to be out on the way.
And actually, the new Torb ult that has the reworked ult, we haven't seen a lot of it. But it's even better against dive than his old ult was, because you can just place the lava on the ground and wait for the divers to land on it.
Well, the dive is coming in here. EMP out early. Mayhem Academy. Is Paintbrush? No, Paintbrush is able to live. Meanwhile, the floor is lava on the other side.
Mangachu getting so much.
Oh, oh no! Here we go! Here we go!
He's going for it. He got it.
The thing you never want to see in the kill feed added to the list.
Mangachu is doing so much on Torb right now, actually. He's getting so much value. Torb has been a hero that's really tough to get value on, especially against dive, and he's getting it here.
Yeah, I mean, Torb is, it's not a joke. It is a threat.
He's good at Torb.
He's turned the beam into the dream. But now we look to Ultimate Web, someone that for a time was quite well known for his Dragon Blades. Discord Orb on him, and gone. Just gone. Deleted.
Bye-bye.
Ashe plus Discord Orb, a match made in heaven. And Mayhem Academy still pretty well. And okay, Shaxx is going to get caught off guard, but Bermuda, I'm not sure they have the punching power right now.
Well, they got ups. They got ups, though. This is still a very winnable situation for Bermuda because of that spawn advantage that's going to be available for them.
But the res is going to come back up. Paintbrush able to find time to swoop back on in.
Ultimate has Blade, and there's no trance.
Barrier Blade. It's an oldie. It's a classic. It's going to get one. Dashes up and gone. He dashed straight into the self-destruct. Oh, here we go again.
Not the hammer kill. Not again, Mr. Mangachu, please.
He can't be stopped. Moves on in, gets back onto the point, and now you want to roll into the point, guess what? You might get a hot foot.
Mangachu literally 4 HP antied, and Bermuda not getting anything, not getting a cap on that defense, or on offense.
Not only not getting a cap, but Mangachu just adding on.
Adding on to the list, the hammer list. So really, really well played. We saw once again the Diva Bomb, the defensive Diva Bomb coming to play for Manitin, where the beat went out onto the Blade, and then Ultimate Web committed because there was no transfer EPs, but Manitin's bomb was right there. He placed it on his backline to ensure the Blade did not get value.
just excellent timing there where you take a look, again, these veteran players where they lived through the age of Genji. This is not new technology. This is not new hat, so to speak. And they're pulling out some of their old tricks that are still scarily effective. And this has now put Bermuda in a very precarious situation where, you know, you look at the series, they've lost the series. That's it. The best they could do here would be a draw. And that's not good enough. Mayhem Academy, 2-0. So either way, Mayhem Academy, they've started out well this season.
But map wins.
Yes.
Map wins. We've harped upon this in the past, last season in particular, but map wins do matter.
They do.
Especially if we're having more parity this contender season, because remember, we do have more overall teams in the group A and B. We have 8 teams in both. So map wins will matter as time moves on. I think that it's even more important now than ever. So they don't want to lose this map necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, Mayhem Academy at the very least wants to finish out strong, make it a clean 3-0 so far, and for them, they would certainly want to push it to 4-0. Bermuda getting the draw here. Yes, it's not going to bring you back into the series, but still something to lean on, and you know, could very well matter later down the line.
And now Ultimate pulling out his Junkrat. Ultimate is another old player, probably the most veteran on this team for Bermuda, and he has a known projectile player.
Yeah, projectile has been his jam, going all the way back to the days of the weeklies and the monthly melees. It is his thing. Disappeared from the scene for a while, but he's back and, again, going to things that he's historically been good at.
Mayhem Academy running this Tracer Sombra setup. Mangachu on the Sombra, generally not a hero. We see him more on projectile heroes more often than not. But Mayhem Academy, if they're going to be running this setup, they need to be looking to pressure the point and make Bermuda rotate, which is what Bermuda did not do in their dive last offense.
And Mangachu Sombra, it's sort of an interesting thing where at times it's been really good and other times it's been really bad. It's sort of definitely one of his more inconsistent heroes in his arsenal, so we'll see just how effective he's going to be in building up charge here.
Shax just moving slowly but surely. As the dynamite comes out, it's going to probably force the recall for Shax. It does. So now he has no recall. They're going to be waiting still. Mayhem Academy playing so patiently, just waiting for Shax and Mangachu to be in position.
They're going to try and move forward. Shu eating a lot of damage early from Bermuda, able to get out of the danger zone. In fact, leading the way, coming forward, taking down Ultima Web. The power of the Junkrat is gone. Nowhere close to getting the Riptire. And Mayhem Academy in a really easy spot here. There's just not going to be the damage to deal with them here at Avast, and it's clean up as Mayhem Academy is going to be looking towards that clean 3-0 start to the series. And of course, they've taken the series, but it's done with an exclamation point. They win the map, and they are looking remarkably improved compared to last season.
They are. They're looking extremely clean. I mean, they had point presence. They were making sure to pressure with both the Sombra and the Tracer. Fact, Fiction, and Manitou were just looking to double dive on whichever target got. I mean, because you're going to get split. When you rotate as a team that's very static on that defense, like Bermuda was, you're going to get split. And that is where your dive can come in, is when you catch one of the stragglers.
Yeah, and look, towards Bermuda there, they're running the Junkrat on the defense, and your Junkrat doesn't need to just be damage. Your Junkrat needs to get huge clumps of damage early on to get the Riptire, in many cases in the first fight, or at least towards the latter end of the fight, at a minimum, even if it's not needed to win it. You need to at least whittle them down, and Ultima Web just wasn't able to do that with how they were rotating.
The Riptire is your win condition, and that. When you're not playing, I mean, we're not playing any other, that's really what you're focused around. There's no Torb. There's no Sombra. You know, they're playing around.
There's no
I mean, your Torb can be a win condition. I mean, he can.
I mean, it
not
certainly
a great
was
one generally, but
well, it certainly was on the defense. Say that much.
It was for Mangachu. Mangachu's Torb can be a win condition.
Yeah. I think there's terror at some point there where people. Would you get intimidated if you were a player and you saw Torb turning at you with a hammer, just knowing the mystique around that?
I've been intimidated by Torb before. Okay. Yeah.
But specifically his, where you know they're going to catch on stream.
Mangachu's silly heroes have been feared for eons now. People have feared. I've feared Mangachu's silly heroes since like the team of Snow, I believe was. Ooh. I think that it was NG Red. It was NG Red. Way back then. Not Team of Snow. He wasn't on Team of Snow.
Yeah. But that goes way back.
Yeah, he was. He's been. But that was when he was a Pharaoh 1 trick essentially.
Yeah. I mean, it was also back in the days where. You know, my name is Mangachu. I'll play everything except Genji, good sirs. But unfortunately, Genji was also incredibly strong back then.
It was so tragic.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the greatest, but he's always been a very solid player on things other than that. But our fourth map, guys, it is going to be Junkertown. And the series has been decided. Mayhem Academy is going to take it. but now you fight for map wins. Bermuda has to look forward to the future, has to think about how playoff implications could be hit, because look, week 1 still matters for this sort of thing, and we'll see if they're able to bring things back here in Junkertown, make it competitive, not just for the score, but also just for themselves. You don't want to get 4-0'd to start the season.
4-0s are never good.
No.
You never want to be 4-0'd. And also, I think that it's going to be very important for I mean, we've already talked about how the litmus test for both Mayhem Academy and also for Bermuda here was looking how they performed. Bermuda, a brand new team in Contenders, moved up from Trials. Mayhem, essentially the old team with like one new addition. And they've looked great. They've actually looked very good. And we see Wub being subbed in here. Has he been in the entire time? I don't think he...
No, he has been subbed in.
Yeah.
Wait, do not adjust your set.
That is Wub.
What it means here is that there's no more risk of additional people being added to the list. His bloodlust is sated, and now Mangachu sleeps. And
I do like when teams use, once you've won a series, obviously we talked about how map wins matter, but for Mayhem, they've won the series. So use this, what is essentially dead time for them, to get experience for those players you have on the roster that you might not use too often.
And I wish teams would do this a little bit more often, where yes, map score matters, but also marketing your players matters, getting them playtime matters, and who knows, you could have something there like extra depth that you didn't even realize, but you gotta give the players playtime.
Yeah, not everyone can be Flower, where you just don't play and get outperformed and get sold.
Yeah, Flower has lived a pretty good life there so far, but OG gonna get taken down immediately. Heavy dive from Mayhem Academy, but comes at a cost. Fact, super low, just barely able to get the shield up in time, but the damage certainly leaving a lasting mark here, where Mayhem Academy gonna need to give some space, or Fact is gonna fall, and he does.
That's gonna be 2 early pickups here for Mayhem. Even if they were to get some frags now, Bermuda's spawn is much closer there, is way fast going down, but this is offense for Bermuda, so that'll be that. Card's going to start moving. And that was a pretty good first, I mean, not a great defense, but a pretty good offense for Bermuda.
Yeah, it works out for them. And I mean, Mayhem Academy, it wasn't the worst. They bought a little bit of time, but you certainly give the edge to the offense there.
You definitely do. Mayhem now just getting ready to come back. They do have that trance advantage, so they could utilize it if they want. If they're very quickly, they should try to catch someone on Bermuda on the rotation, try to maybe get anyone.
Well, I think that's what they're trying to do. Maniton being pretty aggressive, coming in from the flank side. Self-destruct now on the way from Shu, all the way to the back. Gonna break Wub's shield, but he's still absolutely okay. Transcendence being traded off. Pizza Demon a little bit later on it. Advantage to Bermuda. Rally coming up as the Transcendence fades. Mayhem a little bit low in resources. They're going to be clutching on the Shatter, on the grab coming up. Shaq's going to be looking for it. Fact on the prowl, moving in. Doesn't lay the hammer down, doesn't need to. The grab was enough.
And that's going to be the fight. Mayhem Academy just cleaning up from now. Good grab, recognizing there were no support ults just after Bermuda because Pizza Demon had just used that trance. So now they're going to be holding on, stopping Bermuda's push. Way fast, though, going to be coming up on his own grab. So Mayhem are going to have to be looking to mitigate this because they don't have either support ult just yet.
The interesting thing is they slow play this. They just don't give a good grab opportunity. Epps could get a Transcendence in time, but he's going to have to just do everything right.
I mean, you build trances extremely quickly in 3-3. See the bash come out. Here comes Bermuda.
For the push. He's almost done it. The grab hasn't come out yet. 88%. He just needs a little bit more time, and he's going to be at that very key break point here. But now they move in. Graviton connecting. Umte charging away, making a little bit of space, but meanwhile, Mayhem Academy's just going up, and oh! Better late than never. The shatter from Umte gonna be knocking down 4. It's what Bermuda needed. Mayhem Academy, they drop a late barrier, but that's likely not gonna be enough.
Umte gave him the fake there, I have to say. That was a pump fake. He charges away from the grab instead of swinging on it, allows Fact to drop his shatter, and then turns around, does the 180 shatters, gets 4.
Yeah, I mean, look, just when you think you're running, he just runs right back in. Is like, nope.
That's the pump fake.
Yeah.
That is a classic pump fake.
You think it's just an NBA move, but you'd be wrong.
You'd be wrong.
Reinhardt's are balling out of control right now.
Now, Bermuda moving in to second. They will have 3 ults moving in here. Mayhem Academy, they use both support ults in that fight. So they don't have a lot of mitigation here. Shaq's not close to the grab either. So Bermuda are having a very good advantage in this next fight.
Well, their decision to use support ults late in the fight when they were down definitely could come back to haunt them here. They're going to try and compensate by being more over-aggressive. They dive into the top. They're looking for Umte. Umte eating a lot of damage. Stunned down! They're able to isolate him. And now this fight actually quite winnable for Mayhem Academy. They can roll forward at their own leisure. They have the advantage, and it's enough. They get themselves back in a really good spot.
Now Wayfast leaving from the high ground. They probably won't be able to pick him up because Energy's going to leave. But like I've talked about previously, Energy is really only super important on transition fights. So it doesn't really matter too much that they were going to get the frag either way. Stagger, here comes Bermuda now, coming up top. Looking for the poke war, just trying to get those bubbles out, those cooldowns out.
They might YOLO a self-destruct here. I mean, it's not the ideal situation. Edison, though, his bomb going to find Umte super early on. Shatter from Umte, not really doing much of anything. Mayhem Academy, just champions of the gutter right now.
Oh my goodness, Fact, he tries to drop the Shadow, got booped up, gets blocked by the bubbles, but Wub taking out Ultimate Web after bashing Umte and setting up the bomb. So Wub doing a great job there. Mayhem are going to hold this. As Fact is just getting booped around, but Epps dies to OG.
This top gutter.
What, he's charging?
Okay. Well,
I guess they've decided the fight's over and he can't get out, so he decides to charge. But Mayhem just overcommitting this. I think they played with their food a little bit too much there, ZP.
They did, although the interesting thing, I'm curious to see how much it affects him here. The bad part there, positioning-wise, you look at Wayfast, he's going to have a really good grab setup.
They will. They have a fantastic grab set at that. But double support ult coming up for Mayhem. So they will, if they're as long as they're able to survive, use their trance only or their beat, they're going to have another support ult up to just follow up onto Bermuda for Mayhem Academy.
So Epps is hanging out here. Transcend's going to be ready if everyone does get caught in the grab. The key for them is just mitigating any fall through with the self-destruct. They drop on in. No aggressive grab here just yet. Now here come the grabs, both sides. Self-destruct up. Barrier from Mayhem Academy. Gonna keep them pretty healthy here. Rally invested by Wub. Bermuda doing much the same. Also up though, gonna fall, but so does Fact. And this is not a bad trade here for the offense of Bermuda. They still have their wine, swinging the hammer, making space. Umte though, gonna get isolated. Mayhem Academy coming right back into the fight. It is a back and forth ball, and Mayhem Academy gonna fight back via Epps.
Epps getting two. He's gonna be Wayfast going down to Shax late, or actually Paintbrush. And that was much better positioning for Bermuda, but Mayhem Academy, after the charge from Umte comes out, the bubbles out onto him, they resurge out from the low ground, punish Umte for there being no charge, no bubble, and then are just able to win the fight. That was just a 1v1 war with Epps getting those two frags.
Final opportunity for Bermuda here. What do they have to do? 24 seconds left.
They have the trance. They should know Shax does not have grab yet. If they can catch anyone with this trance early, this is their best hope. As Shax will beat them, and so there will be no trance.
Yeah, the one guy that needed to not die, died. That is a full Price is Right failure horn. In fact, somehow isolated. Still hope here for Bermuda. Graviton coming in from Mayhem Academy. Self-destruct over in. Nothing coming out of it. Bermuda fighting, but not for much longer. Mayhem Academy just in too strong of a position.
The health is just too much. There's too much health for Mayhem. With Pizza Demon down, they didn't have the trance to sustain. They didn't have the Discord Orb to focus. Pizza Demon going down was really the reason that the fight was over.
We talk about the win conditions here for about, it's not just to give you guys a better understanding, but it's also to give you the stakes. It's about who do you have to look at and why is it important there. And Pizza Demon was the key for Bermuda. So when you see Pizza Demon fall immediately, you know that just things have gone horribly wrong for Bermuda.
Well, it definitely could have gone much worse for them, honestly, without having that trance. Now, Bermuda, they're going to have a great defense here because they didn't even cap second. Not even the second hold will be. It'll be going to be like a first and a half hold.
So for Mayhem Academy, it's not a long distance they have to go to. Now, bear in mind, it is Junkertown. First point holds are not as crazy. It's not the most likely relative to other escort maps, but we have seen it off very good double sniper gameplay. But Bermuda doesn't look to be messing around with that. They look to be coming in on 3-3 with advantage towards any sort of DPS-heavy lineup, given that they're running the Moira.
Well, that is probably what they're expecting. They're expecting Mayhem to potentially run more DPS here. I mean, Mayhem looks like, are they going to be doing, we've seen a quad DPS duo support from Fusion Uni earlier in the day. Are we going to see Mayhem pull out a very interesting strat here as well? I doubt it, though. I highly doubt it. I think they're going to be running the traditional 3-3.
I think Epps is going to have to put his Ashe dreams away. Maybe.
Look how close Bermuda are holding, by the way. Since they're running Moira, they're saying we need to fight close. We need to fight them as early as possible. We're going to use the Moira burst healing so we can take the fight at the doors.
And they know that, as you say, if the fight goes long there, it really starts.
But Paintbrush is on Symmetra. It's on Symmetra. They're going to potentially use this teleporter to get the high ground on them.
You know, Mangachu might not be in the game, but his spirit lives on.
That is a silly hero out on the play. Now Mayhem, they hold the high ground and they're using the turrets of the Sim to keep them in there. Paintbrush going to be swapping back to OWC.
Mayhem Academy, they use it for the quick advantage, and they get Shu off the rotation. Bermuda wasn't expecting it, and the Symmetra teleporter there, it's done its job. Yeah, he might have swapped off it, but it was good enough.
I mean, just look at Shaxx and Epps on the high ground doing so much damage. Epps already at 70% to that trance. Fact, cleaning up on the point. And now Bermuda, I don't think they stand there more. They should not. They need to be swapping this in right away, which means that entire play, it did buy some time, but you fed a trance to Epps.
Exactly, where
they're going to stay? It looks like they're going to stay.
They buy time, but sort of what cost have you given here, and how hard is it going to be to dig yourself out of something that you bought with that early defense?
Extremely hard, because Coalescence is so tough to get any value when there's trance on the field.
Well, now Bermuda moving in, Coalescence out, and they're just hoping the laser someone down, going, please let this do something. It doesn't do anything.
And now Epps throws the trance.
Mayhem Academy in such a good spot here, and now they just need to pull the trigger. They're waiting for their opportunity. In fact, getting a little bit of airtime here. Bendao gonna drop the hammer, knocks down Shu to the side, a counter shot coming in. Whoop, in danger, but the Transcendence just in the nick of time. Mayhem Academy, too strong, too much power in their bank.
And that's the value of having trance versus that Coalescence. Mayhem Academy, when Paintbrush or when the rest of Bermuda engaged and pizza him and used that Coalescence, they just backed up. There's no damage really from the Coalescence that's going to worry you in the 3-3 composition. They saved their trance, and despite the shatter from Umte, they had that Transcendence up to keep Wub alive.
And the thing is, that was clean enough. Oh, Bermuda, are you going to come out and try and contest this? This could be
risky.
A very
risky,
tough
but it could be the right play because they don't have a lot of time.
I think you're right. But this also is going to be a bitter pill to swallow if it doesn't go well. They already even hit the D-Mac. The grab comes out late. Mayhem suffocating them. And now, Bermuda, you've wasted a lot of ult power there, and you've gotten nothing. You've gotten worse than nothing.
The only saving grace there was that they got the combo out from Mayhem Academy, and they got the beat out. Yes. They got 3 ults from Mayhem Academy. So Bermuda, despite this huge time bank and this not very far distance that has to be pushed for Mayhem Academy, Bermuda, they have to be okay with that because they will be getting ults up online.
The problem is they're giving up so much progress here. They're putting us into about 1-fight territory and positioning. Fact, trying to find the right place to take advantage of it might not work out here for Feng Chao, but you know, Fact speed goes down, no hesitation, knocks down the Brigida and gets what he's looking for.
There's the bomb out for Bermuda, counter charge on the Fact Fiction, but this is just cleanup for Mayhem Academy, and now Shu's used the bomb. They won't get any value for that in this upcoming fight where it was arguably much more valuable, the bomb, for the stopping this last cap.
That was such good game sense for Fact Fiction. He had no hesitation in laying that shatter down.
Which you shouldn't. When you're Reinhardt in the 3-3, you're a leader, you're the pacemaker for your team, and you shouldn't be afraid to just drop a shatter, even if you don't get great effective utility out of it all the time.
Bermuda up against the wall here, trying not to get 4-0'd, but that might be the case. Final opportunity here to stop the Mayhem. Umte, shatter up. He's going to need to deliver. His Brigida is down. Will he hit the shatter of his dreams, or is it going to be a nightmare? He's charged in by Fact. Mayhem Academy just moving in. Umte's going to fall, and Mayhem Academy about to finish out the 4-0.
And right now, there's the trance out for Pizza Demon, but it's pretty much just going to be stagger kills now. Late beat out as well, but Bermuda just getting slowly but surely cleaned up on the point.
They lost too much there early in the fight, and Mayhem Academy establishing dominance here in week 1, taking over Bermuda 4-0.
That was a very, very quick and decisive 4-0 for Mayhem Academy. They look really good. They look really solid. And we talked earlier how the most important part for this match is how these teams look coming into the week, coming into the Contender season, because Mayhem had a really rough season last Contender season, and now they also had the very bad, the Contenders move up, I should say, the Trials move up for Bermuda, so you want to see how they stack up. So Mayhem Academy looking very much improved, and Bermuda definitely not quite at the same level. No,
not quite. I mean, they were good enough to get through Trials, but they hit the raid boss here where there was a big level jump, and they probably need to do a little bit of grinding is the easiest way of putting it there, because this was simply an outclassing from top to bottom. But also, based on what we've seen historically from Mayhem, they leveled up. Like, they definitely trained going into this in a way that, you know, it wasn't really clear last season, and they didn't come in with anything really too gimmicky. And the thing that arguably was with the Torbjorn actually worked out really well. So it's a rejuvenated Mayhem team here, and it's been enjoyable to watch so far.
It has.